Therapy has quite the reputation. Right along with its smaller brothers, coaching and counseling, therapy has this aura about it that it's difficult, it's confronting, it's painful, and most of the time it doesn't even work. It doesn't even have the desired effect. You give the therapist a run for their money, and what is the good that it does you, because you can't change the past anyway. All valid arguments, but there's a reason for all of this, and there's a reason why this reputation has taken such a hold. But therapy, counseling and coaching alike all have their place, and they can give you tremendous benefit if you know how to choose them. In this video, I'm going to talk about what makes good therapy. I've had a lot of experience on both sides of the table. So let's take a look at what makes good therapy really helpful and how you can find the kind that works for you. This is Ship Psychology Channel. My name is Crystal Vogels and I'm your counselor for today. There are many different ways that you can find help for mental health issues that you struggle with. Sometimes a talk with a friend or a family member is enough, someone you trust. Sometimes you go to your spiritual leader within your community if that is what you were brought up to do and if that is someone you feel can help you. And sometimes you find that that is not quite effective enough and you go to a professional coach, counselor or psychotherapist. Within psychology, however, there is a wide array of different kinds of treatments, different kinds of therapies. Some are more focused on the physical aspect of our issues. Where does the tension lock up? What does that do to your body? And to use the body to get rid of that tension. Some focus more on emotions. Others focus more on thoughts and how to control your thoughts and through your thoughts control your emotions. But a lot of people find that, first of all, it's very difficult to see the trees through the forest. Which therapies would be suited for you? Maybe your GP has given you a specific direction to go to this kind of psychotherapist, but somehow it doesn't click. Perhaps it does. But a lot of clients that I get in my practice, they tell stories of how they've had multiple therapists and somehow it just didn't click. Either the method didn't click or the person didn't click. And as a result, they lost faith in what other people can do to help them, what a therapist, a coach or counselor can do to help them. Which is a pity because therapy can be extremely beneficial if you've got the right fit. One of the arguments that a lot of people give to not go into therapy is, well, you can't change the past anyway. Shit happened, I can't deal with it, but I can't change it either. And while that is true, a good therapist, a good coach, a good counselor can help you do one thing that does, in a way, kind of like magic, change the past. And that is a process called reframing. Off the cuff, reframing sounds like you're lying to yourself because you have the same experience, but you tell yourself a different story, a different narrative about what happened, about how you deal with it. That's just lying. And a lot of people take that as a cue to not consider therapy. But real reframing is much more subtle than that. And because it's more subtle, it is genuine. Imagine that you are this rock. And when you look at the rock from this angle, you will notice that, well, it's a rock. There's a few sparkles there because there's some crystals embedded in it. It looks kind of nice. And, from this angle, it looks good and whole. However, when you look from this angle, you will notice a crack. Well, you don't want to see that, so you quickly change the angle. And then you turn it over and you find that, hold on, there's an even larger crack here and there's actual chips missing. And you realize that something is wrong, that something needs to be done here. And then when you take that crack and you open it, what you'll find is that inside there are crystals. Inside you're shiny. And some of the crystals are fully formed, some aren't. Some are more shiny than others. But this is a very different view. It is still the same rock. Just look at it. It's still the same rock. You just look at that rock differently, because when you look at just a rock from this angle, this is all you see. And you think that this is all there is. And when you look at the cracks, you think that that is all there is. And you've forgotten that there are parts of the rock that are also whole. When you open it, it is still the same rock. That is the basis of reframing. You can do the same thing with situations. Good therapy is not about changing the past or undoing something, unbreaking something that has been broken. You can't do that. You're absolutely right saying that you can't change the past. But you can change how you deal with it. You can change how you view a certain experience. You can change how you deal with that right here, right now, in the present. You can't change the past, but you can change the present. You can change how you deal with the memory, how you deal with the fallout of that situation in the present. And that is what good therapy, counseling, and coaching do for you. Whether or not a particular type of therapy, particular approach in coaching has that desired effect of reframing for you, that depends on whether you feel that this might work for you. There are so many different ways to look at your mental health and to work with that, because there are so many people who have different views or different experiences, different faith in what works for them. If you have confidence that cognitive behavioral therapy will do the trick for you, it very likely will. If you prefer Gestalt therapy, chances are that that is going to have more effect for you than the cognitive behavioral therapy one. If you have more faith and confidence in physical therapy, so therapy that is specifically based on your body, how it operates and how stress shows itself in your body, chances are that therapies that tie into that will have more effect for you than either emotional therapy or cognitive therapy. It all depends on what feels right for you. So when you're looking for therapy, when you're looking for a specific therapist or counselor or a coach, have a look around and see what would work for you, what approach works for you. And even within one specific approach, one specific school of thought, there's also all kinds of different people. And if you have a good connection with one of them, chances are that they can help you because you're open to what they offer you. If you don't trust your therapist, therapy is not going to work. And it's okay to be honest about that. To say to your therapist, look, I'm sorry, this isn't working. In the same way that you would break any relationship that just doesn't feel right. And when you tell them, look, this isn't working for me, if they're any good, they will ask you, okay, what do you need? And then if they cannot provide what you need, they will be honest. And if you've got a really good one, they will help you find someone who can give you what you need. Then therapy is brilliant and it can make a world of difference in a relatively short time. Because really good therapy doesn't have to take years. If you have that connection with your therapist, if you have that connection with the approach that they take, if that is a good fit for you, you can go through processes like lightning. Because then it becomes much easier. You're not fighting against your own mistrust. You're not fighting against yourself. You're not fighting against them. Then it's a conjoined process. And the shorter that process is, the more effective that is, the sooner you can start enjoying your life again. And that is ultimately what any good therapist and any good therapy has in mind for you. That is the goal. That is your goal, and it's their goal to help you achieve that life that you want, to achieve that for yourself. That's it for today. If you'd like to know more, visit the website. And if you want to know more about PsychoTrivia and stay updated in what is coming, because there might be coming something that sounds like podcast, ring the bell or visit the website and subscribe there, because that's where you get all the news. Link in the description. And for now, see you next time.